Oops. Sorry about that. All right, folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugga, and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. And to say we've had a couple issues is an understatement. Uh, one run where our trailer and our truck got pretty jacked up, but we still did okay. And another run where our trailer and our truck got very jacked up because the trailer couldn't fit under a sign. Ran into the dangers of running two mods together. Map mod, trailer mod. Trailer was too tall to go under the road sign. Something I'm going to have to worry about when I'm towing bigger loads. Um, so in frustration, I kind of quit out, not kind of, I quit out of that last run, and we ended up paying 12,000 euros in fines. Then we had a massive repair on our truck, which really freaking sucked. Because we were really close to buying a new truck. Oh well. Anyways, we've already selected our trailer for this run, if you recall. Yeah, I know the car's there. I saw it. That's why I'm trying to keep this corner a little tight. You know what? Let's just start it off badly, you know. Get the bad stuff out of the way first. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention to the light. I was more worried about running into the car than anything else. Nope. This is not the proper place. Oh, I see you, car. You know what, I'll just drive on the wrong side of the street. This is the place. Why didn't I take this? Oh, because it's too short. That's why. It's too short. Only 300-something kilometers. I'd have to pick up another trail. Well, I could do that, technically speaking. Hey, I pressed T. Now it won't let me. My cord to my controller keeps wrapping up around me. And the interesting thing is we really can't see this trailer around this truck, so this should be fun. So, let me get the depressing stuff out of the way that I want to talk about first. I'm still in a very depressed mood. Okay, that was interesting. I'm still in a very depressed mood right now. I haven't started springing back yet. Again, if you recall, I'm pretty sure, even though I've never been actually officially diagnosed with it, bipolarism runs in my family on my mother's side pretty hard. So it's very likely that I have, as I've said, a mild form of bipolarism. And I again say mild because I don't have extreme mood swings. I just either get really happy or I get depressed. Extreme mood swings can like really cause people to lose control. Meaning, like, I saw this one video of a lady that was on the downside of bipolarism attacked cops with a knife. The cops, you know, props to them in a very big way, did not shoot the lady, but unfortunately she did end up injured. As she came at the cops with a knife, one of the cops managed to tackle her from the side. And as they went down, the knife somehow got turned, and she ended up getting stabbed in her stomach, but she ended up okay. I don't know why I told that story. I guess I would just like, when I said that the ladies attacked a cop, and the way the cops are viewed in many ways today, this was one instance where that didn't happen. Boy, this is a tight-ass corner. I think if I had a bigger trailer, I wouldn't make it. So, anyways, I just get depressed, or I get really energetic, happy, and everything's okay. And I can circumvent it somewhat by like listening to music and playing video games at the same time, or doing something like this and playing. Unfortunately, I have a new layer added onto that. You all know what that is, the loss of my wife. And my voice already cracking. And unfortunately, it did start hitting me today. You don't, oh yeah, my lights are on. You don't appreciate the small things until they're gone. Do I go, yeah, I go this way. And the small thing that I was really missing, other than my wife being there, fucking pause. Goddamn controller wire, why are you wrapped around all this when you shouldn't be? There. That should handle it. Now I gotta be easy. Not going that way. Sorry about that. No, so, why'd I come down this side again if I'm just getting back out on the... Okay, game. Fuck you. Whatever. So what I was saying is, what I was missing, honestly, was a hug. I just wanted a hug. I wanted a hug from my wife, and I wanted to be able to hug her. It's not there anymore. There's nobody around that I can just hug other than my dogs. And that helps a little bit, giving your dogs a hug, but my dogs, at least, maybe there's a few dogs out there, but my dogs, they don't hug back. And it's things like that that make the down state that I already have to deal with in being bipolar that much more difficult. Because again, I'm fighting against doing things like running to the store and buying a big sandwich, or going to McDonald's, or ordering Pizza Hut. I'm trying to pay down my credit cards. I'm trying to pay down various things really hard, and it's just not working right now, and I need it to work. Well, no, I'm just not saying it. I want to make it not work. I want to like spend the money I have on my credit cards and make myself feel better, and I can't afford to do that. Playing video games and listening to music, like I said, helps somewhat. Am I going to get a ticket here? Nope. That was either the loan coming in or somebody got paid, one or the other. So... it gets really difficult. times like that to not break what I'm trying to accomplish. More in particular when I'm like trying to lose weight. You know, I kind of wish. I'm glad she did. I'm happy she did. My mother-in-law said, you know, if you get hungry again, there's plenty of chicken left over if you want some. And I kind of wish she didn't say that because that's temptation. But even though I did have chicken after I had already eaten dinner, I had the chicken about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours later. And it wasn't all that bad because I only had the chicken. I only had 3 pieces of chicken. And honestly, I should add 2, but 3's okay. And I worked really, really hard today, honestly. At least really hard for me. I cleared out a much larger section of the yard than what I normally do. And that makes me feel pretty good, you know? I feel happy that I was able to do that. And, excuse me. Another camera. Fuck you, camera. In one of those moods I just want to drive right now. I gotta move my mouse pad up so it's gonna jiggle my view a little bit. Hello, IKEA truck. So, yeah, just... Pardon me, I'm a little tired right now as well. I just am having a hard time with that as well. But you know something that's bothered me a lot lately, and I mean really, really, really fucking bothered me a lot lately, is how sensitive this country has become to things. You know? A lot of old cartoons nowadays aren't shown. Bugs Bunny, Popeye, and whatnot. A lot of them aren't shown anymore because of the content that they had, the propaganda videos, you know, during the war with the Germans and the Japanese, how they portrayed them. And it just goes beyond that. But you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It really goes beyond that. How sensitive we've become to things lately. As I've talked about before, you know, you probably all heard the story of Hulk Hogan damn near losing everything because he was recorded in an older phone call, in a much older phone call, to have used the word nigger many times. And the thing is, why? You know, why punish him that much because of what he did? You know, Hogan said specifically, you know, in the time that he was using it, you know, things were different. It was more acceptable. People were calling Hogan a racist because he used the word nigger. You know what? On live TV, when he was part of Harlem Heat, Booker T used the word nigger when he was talking to Hogan. He literally, his promo came out. I'm talking to you, and we're coming for you. He said, Hogan, we're coming for you next, nigga. And he realized what he said. You can see his reaction on TV. He's like, oh, shit. And he was worried Hogan would be pissed, but Hogan walked up to him and said, I think it was funny, dude. You know, I understand where you're coming from. I know you're in the moment. You talk how you talk. You know, the word nigger, in all due honesty, I don't like the word. I don't use it other than when I'm discussing issues with it. The word nigger has killed several careers uh, in not too long a time, in all due truth. If you think about it, Paula Deen, ooh, I thought he was coming over here. Paula Deen was caught using the word nigger. And, well, where is she now? She was the southern grandma of the cooking channel. She had her own product lines. And now suddenly everyone dumped her like a freaking hot potato. Dog the Bounty Hunter, his career died on the word nigger. You know, it's unreal that we've become so sensitive to things. And things are so blown out of proportion in so many ways. It's absolutely ridiculous. The only place where you can actually be politically incorrect, and I don't know where the term politically correct comes from, because I've never known politics to be correct, let alone politicians to actually be the moral standard of this world. So I don't know where politically correct comes from. But honestly, wait, before I go on, I want to check how far we have in this. 8:16. Oh, this is going to be an awkward run. We might be able, if we stay on the highway, we might just be able to make the whole thing. Oops, sorry. So, yeah, as I was saying, comedy's the only place where that's okay, where you can be offensive and be challenging and be controversial and still, you know, be okay. Take Ralphie May, for instance. You know, Ralphie May is one of the more controversial comedians I know. Not personally, obviously, but yeah, man, what's wrong with being like that in reality? Hell, back in the 80s, even the 90s, the 70s, we weren't so sensitive to this shit. I grew up watching Bugs Bunny and those cartoons, and Popeye and those cartoons. I remember the terms sap, jap, and all that. And I don't think any less of the Japanese. I think they're a phenomenal people with an amazing economy and on the cutting edge of technology and willing to do a lot more than we are in the United States for their culture. You know, the term only in Japan comes out because Japan's kind of like the only place where you can go to see certain things. And I'm not talking about their amazing history. I'm talking about strange vending machines. You know, Japan has fully embraced sexuality, even though it's actually has a bit of a backlash on the country right now. But you know, their animes, the ones that we get here in the United States, are very, very strongly censored, even today, even though that there's really no reason to. It just feels like the United States is taking a step backwards in terms of its sensitivity towards things like censorship and what we consider okay and what we don't consider okay. And ooh, okay, I need to move over a little bit faster. And things like that. Things that you used to be able to say and do in the 80s, you can't do now because of, oh, it's not politically correct. So fucking what? You know, you can't hide 50 years of tradition in cartoons just because of what the content was. It's part of history. That's part of your history. Germany wasn't any different in propaganda. Japan wasn't any different in propaganda. Nobody was. I just don't get it. It just feels so ridiculous that we as a country don't seem to be maturing towards better things. We seem to be going backwards. We have an unacceptable amount of gun violence to the point that movie theaters have started like metal detectors and searching customers. And why shouldn't they at this point? Just to keep people safe. And you know, when we have school shootings and you know, theater shootings and whatnot, what's one of the first things that tends to get blamed? Fucking video games. Oh, the violent video games caused it. Well, fuck you, it did. It's just people don't want to open their eyes to the fact that the world is changing around us, and we need to change with it. We can't be stuck where we are. I mean, I know there are countries out there that are still really strict and really difficult. Places in the Middle East and whatnot where women really don't even have rights still. But even those places are starting to change. It's truly amazing what can happen when you try. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel like the country's trying. The country's trying to stay the same. Gun laws. We had better gun laws at one point. I don't know if anyone remembers this. We had better gun laws at one point. Semi-automatic weapons, at the very least, were not allowed. And a lot of people try to say, oh, you can't take a semi-automatic weapon and make it fully automatic. Bullshit. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Maybe not all semi-automatic weapons, but yes, you can. All semi-automatic weapons were banned. And what happens? George W. Jr. comes along and fucking... Not only did the country go to hell, but he repealed that law about owning semi-automatic weapons. Why? Because he wanted to own semi-automatic weapons. Seriously, we had the village idiot running the country at that point. And a lot of people talk about Obama right now. Really? Obama. Obama's a better president than we've had in a little while. You may not fully agree with some of the stuff he does, but who the fuck cares? I mean, seriously, we're in a country right now where Donald fucking Trump actually has a legitimate chance to win the presidency. And people are worried about Obama. I don't know. I swear, if I could, if I had the money, if I had the ability, like I said, I'd move to Britain. Not that Britain doesn't have its problems. Every country has its problems, no matter how good they are. But I just view Britain as better than the United States, and this is coming from somebody who was born and raised in the United States. was going to move over. No point. Just sick and tired of all this political correctness. There are some things, yeah, that I think should not be found acceptable. Such as using the word nigger. Plain and simple, okay? It's a term that was brought up to... Wee, that's tight. It's a term that was brought up that referred to slaves back before the Civil War. I still think it's a derogatory term and should not be used. At least, you know, for the most part. But we shouldn't condemn someone. Why is the speed limit 50 through here? I'm just watching for that speed camera, that's all. We shouldn't condemn someone because they used it or said it. What happened to freedom of speech? You see what I'm saying? You see what I said before? I've actually tackled I've tackled this once before about the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is a joke. It's a document that's 250, 275, however many years old, with laws that can no longer apply to current day. It's just completely outrageous. So help me, I'm gonna push this motherfucker out of my way. You should be moving over right about now. You know what? You two are just not gonna fuck me up like this. You're just not. Breakdown lane time! Peace! So, anyways. Freedom of speech, yeah, sure. Freedom of speech counts as long as you don't offend someone, which is almost impossible. The right to bear arms, as I've mentioned many times, was at a time when guns shot one round every 30 seconds to a minute, not when you could crank out 100 bullets a fucking second. Freedom of press was never meant to protect paparazzi. You know, the Bill of Rights is ignored where convenient, and then sworn as the gospel when convenient. And it's beyond aggravating. I am actually going a little too fast. I don't know what's going on with this traffic or this speed. I just know that it's really starting to piss me off. The last speed limit sign I saw said 70 and it hasn't changed. Oh, nope, can't do that yet. Just today I'm not in the mood to drive slow. Ah, finally. So, there's a lot of things wrong with this country today. There really, really is. Ah, missed. Anyways, maybe I should get off my soapbox now. Of course, by getting off my soapbox, I kind of run out of subjects I wanted to talk about. Which, by the way, we need gas. Our fuel supply is getting a little critical here. And, oops. No. Where's our time? 18:32, so 6:30. Oh, here's a gas station. Alright. We good. Bus, you need to get the hell out of my way. Something tells me that this bus is glitched. Oh no. Alright. I was worried that it was, in all due truth, because it didn't have lights on or anything. Actually, we're pretty close to needing some sleep. How much longer do we have? 390, about 400. I'm gonna have to make that another video, guys. I'm sorry. I probably should have cut it off at least 100 ago. About 500, but oh well. I got on my soapbox and just kept on going. Man, our truck looks so amazing. It really does. I think she just looks beautiful. I love the lights rimming around the edge there. And... right. Oh, no, wrong button. I forgot. I didn't realize that this wasn't going. High beams. Yeah, now she's looking sweet. And then our back, man. Look at that. That's just so cool. That is just so freaking cool. I think she looks awesome as fuck right now. Anyways. Ah, stop that. No, actually, I stopped that. No, but I need to go here. I think I was subconsciously telling myself. But that's going to be me done for this episode, folks. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've been enjoying bringing it to you. Probably going to be a bit of a short video. Next one, unless I can find a short, like 300. Well, I probably can find a short 300 or 400 kilometer run to do on the back of this, because this is only going to be 400 kilometers after, so it's going to make for a pretty short vid. But I got on my soapbox and couldn't help myself. I just kept going. So, anyways, folks, that's going to be me done for this video. So I said, I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be one big bugger. I'm going to be signing out.